of four. This is going to be my review on John Carpenter's Vampires. And I did watch this, I want to say, earlier last year, because I read the novel that inspired this movie last year. But for some reason I didn't review it. But here it is. And this is a movie that stars James Woods and Daniel Baldwin as vampire hunters. They are joined by their compadres, and they just go from nest to nest to take out these vampires. But they come across the master, which is named Valak. And off the bat, this is easily one of my favorite vampire movies. And it's very high on my list of John Carpenter movies. I love this movie. What makes this movie so cool is James Woods' character as Jim Crow. Very cool name, very cool dude. So, he leads his team to take out this nest, and they become very successful in their hunt. So, they celebrate at night, which is a terrible idea, at a hotel, and all sorts of debauchery happens, but then Valak shows up and he just wreaks havoc. There are definitely some very gory kills in here, and these vampires are very terrifying. So, there's this random girl that comes to the party, and she's kind of like a hooker. She tries to get with James Crow. Well, that's what I said. But she ends up in Valak's possession, and he bites her, making her turn very, very slowly. So, Valak wipes out everyone at this hotel, leaving only James Woods and Daniel Baldwin alive. But they come across the woman that Valak bit, and they just go on a road trip to try and find him before he comes across this cross that has a ritual that needs to be done to make Valak walk in the sunlight. Wow, I'm actually explaining this very well. So, you also do get that vampire trope where you have to have a religious figure with you at all times. And the Padre in here starts off kind of like a weakling, but he starts accepting his need to kill vampires. I will admit, after the hotel scene, this just turns into a road movie. And it's just a fight for survival before, I think her name was Katrina, inevitably turns. But once you get to the vampire ritual sequence is when this movie starts picking up, and you get that whole vampire showdown. And in a way, this movie is kind of like a vampire western. It just has that aesthetic to it. And it's a really fun movie. I really do enjoy this every time I watch it, despite the second act being the slowest. It pays off in the end when Katrina does turn and she ultimately bites Daniel Baldwin, and he inevitably turns also. I will say this, the ending is very frustrating because it's open-ended. And the sequel to this is like a direct-to-video sequel starring John Bon Jovi, of all people. So you don't really get the whole conclusion to what happened to Jim Crow. So I definitely do gotta watch that sequel to see what actually does happen. But that ending always frustrated me. But this movie as a whole is very entertaining, and I highly really recommend it if you are a vampire fan, which I'm in the middle. I mean, I haven't seen every vampire movie. Don't judge me, but I really do need to watch The Lost Boys and Dracula. Those are going to be next, for sure. I'll definitely review those. But this is my at least top 5 favorite vampire movies. And I would give John Carpenter's Vampires an A. It's very, very fun. Those are my thoughts on John Carpenter's Vampires. And my next review is going to be for Smile 2. I'm going to go see that on Thursday. It's a fan event. And look out for that review coming very shortly. And tomorrow, I'm going to pick another vampire movie to watch. And I'll also have that review with it for Friday. But other than that, that's all I got for tonight. I'm going to go to bed. Adios. Peace.